How far back should I go? My mom brought me up in the Church of Christ. I went there when I was about 13 years old. Spent about a year, a little over a year there. And my mom got me and my sister baptized. Pastors were embezzling money at the church. I met some people that were really rough around the edges, and I suffered a lot of church hurt at that time. So I strayed away from the faith. And then I went back. I would go to church when my mom would ask me to, but I didn't have a relationship with the Lord. I didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't have anything of significance besides my own self-driven faith. So, fast forward, I'm in the UFC. One of my friends from middle school, we rekindle our relationship. He contacts me, and ever since middle school, he's been Christian. He was the Christian boy around the school that everybody kind of thought was weird and super innocent. He starts talking to me, and I don't even know how we really reconnected. I think he found me on social media, and the Lord was like, yeah, like, here you go. So we reconnected, started talking, and I was so deep in the world. I was really deep in the world, but he was still a kind soul, good person, and he wanted to help me out. So we would talk about finances, we would talk about certain things, and I always paid attention every time we talked about God. I'll have a weird experience after. Either some coincidental conversation about God will come up. Somebody would talk to me about Jesus, or, just something like that would happen. And it happened numerous occasions. And I just told him one day, I was like, man, why do I keep having these weird encounters with God after I talk to you? And he told me, the Lord wants a relationship with you. And I was like, oh, all right. And me still living the way I wanted to live, living in the world, that fell on deaf ears, but I took note of it. Fast forward, I get really successful in UFC. I finally cracked the top 15. Living out my wildest dreams, sleeping with numerous women, I'm partying, I'm popping bottles at clubs, and I'm doing everything in every rap song that I've ever listened to. Taking shots with my favorite fighters, drinking beers with my favorite fighters, getting drunk to the point where I wouldn't even remember taking certain pictures. And I remember one day I just woke up, and I just didn't want to live like that anymore. My mom was telling me, you need to stop drinking, alcohol is not good in our family. But I couldn't stop it. I didn't know why. And one day, I just felt something tell me to stop drinking. It was right before I was doing a meet and greet in Vegas. And I chose that day to stop, of all days. Go out to Vegas, and everybody's like, drink, you're not drinking? Drink. Ironically, my Uber driver was sober, and I told her, I was like, yeah, I chose to stop drinking. She was like, you chose to stop drinking before you come to Vegas? Like, what? She was like, I commend you for that. And then just told me to stay strong, gave me some positive words of encouragement, So I kept getting offered drinks over and over, and I just kept saying no. And that definitely fast forwarded on 4 or 5 my willpower to say no to alcohol. That was one of the first steps. And then next thing you know, I start having a little bit of a spiritual awakening. And I start hearing one of my coaches just tell me jewels and just drop a lot of jewels on me. And I'm just like, wow, that resonates a lot with me. Like I share in that, I feel that. Where are you getting this from? And he said, oh, it's from my religion. And I was like, interesting. And, it really sparked my interest. So thinking about it, I was like, man, maybe I should, dabble in that, pick up that religion and, see what it's about. Then I lose a fight, really, really bent out of shape about it. And a person of significance comes into my life and they tell me I should study and know my own religion and know Jesus before I try to learn about somebody else's religion. And that really stood out to me. And then I did. And I started learning about Jesus. I started reading the Bible for myself. I started to ask the questions and get the answers because they were right there. And that person was of so much significance in my life that I said, wow, Lord, I didn't think people like this even existed anymore. And I was like, I know this could be from you. I know this had to be from you. I was like, I'm not turning back this time. I'm not giving up this time. I'm giving you my life. I'm giving you my all. I'm not gonna backslide. I'm not gonna turn away. And that was a couple years ago. And ever since, I've just been dedicating my life to the Lord. And it's come with so many ups and downs, so much pruning, so much refinement. It's all been so amazing. And just to watch His hand at work has just been such a blessing. My pastor ends up finding me through Instagram. I have a Bible study with him. And I remember I was getting ready for a fight, and he sent me a prayer every day. I believe every day or every week. And he sent me a prayer. He was out in Kenya on a missions trip, still sending me prayers, still showing me love and showing me acceptance. And me thinking, he just wants something out of me. It's just, I'm suffering from church hurt. He just wants something out of me, right? Nah, it was genuinely love. It was all love. And I never really experienced that. So that was pretty cool to see. He was really selfless, from someone of the faith. And that really stuck out. It really stuck out because, you get to a certain status, you feel like people are always out to get you for money or have some kind of ulterior motive. And, the Lord revealed to me that He didn't. It was genuine kindness and genuine fruit. So I always appreciated that. When I was having some relationship trouble, He came out and helped. Didn't ask me for a cent. He flew His family out to Florida and helped me and my family, and He baptized me, and He did so much good for us. And I just do feel like God definitely called me to help Him and return that favor. Just out of the kindness of my heart. And so, man, I've just been fast forwarding and being blessed to be around people of the faith. My brother Daniel Matos has been a real significant help as well. He's one of the most solid men of God I've come across, and he has helped me so much in my walk as well. And I've just been blessed. I just continue to be blessed with a congregation of brothers and people and believers that have just been believing in me. And I do feel like the Lord has called me to lead a lot of people to the faith and just be a beacon of light and hope, and to just show the world something different. Show the world how Jesus still has significance, and how He's still King, and how He's still sovereign, and how He still runs everything. The last year that's happened, I went to jail. My daughter got attacked by a dog. I was in the hospital overnight with her. She got sick again, didn't know what was going on with her. Me and my fiance fell out, and we called things off. I retired. So much pain, bro. So much pain. And the only way I really got through it is through God. Because the old me would have still been suffering. The old me would have spiraled out of control, went to a substance, went partying, went crazy. But I've just been leaning on God because He's truly been my rock through everything. I can't thank him enough. And no matter what I do, no matter how much of my life I dedicate to him, it still wouldn't be enough, you know? So everything I do is to glorify him in some way, shape, or form, to help the kingdom in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't even matter the result. I go out and step out on faith. If the Lord calls me to do something, I'm gonna do it. I've been moving how he's asked me to, and I've just been abiding in his word. And I look back at my life and everything that's happened, and I'm like, who better to be equipped to do this than me, with a lot of the things that I've gone through. And I don't mean that in a prideful way. I mean that in I answered the call, and God waited on me to answer the call for so long. I kept being even more equipped when I answered. So when I meet people that have suffered church hurt, I know how to speak to them. When I meet people that have gone through heartbreak, I know how to speak to them. When I meet people that have gone through family issues, I know how to speak to them. When I meet people that feel like they're lost in the world and they don't have a direction, they don't know where to go, I definitely lead them to Jesus. And something that's always been me is leading by example. I don't like talking about things I'm not about. I don't like fake. I don't like anything that isn't authentic. So I know the Lord definitely called me for that. And even with my brand, I haven't supported anything that I don't personally use or I'm not personally for. And I really hold that near and dear to my heart. So as Christ is near and dear to my heart, I pray that everyone sees that and they see my example, and it's something to follow. You will see Christ through me, because sometimes that's all you get to see is an experience to a person to reflect Christ for you. And that may just be enough to plant a seed, to water a seed, and to reap a harvest. He promises we will have trials. Promises we will have tribulations. But he also promised that he will always be with us until the end. So no matter what you go through, the Lord will always be your comfort. No matter what you go through, the Lord will be your confidence.